is an expression. Nature red in tooth and claw.
Indeed, over the years we've witnessed family feuds, sibling rivalry, jealous lovers, and all-out gang warfare. And that's just the meerkat.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the cute appearance of these little guys, or indeed any of the groups of animals here at the park. Like all families, there is the potential for disharmony, and it's up to the keepers to keep the peace. Oi, get out of there. And the gorilla team will face one of their biggest challenges yet as they welcome 2 new youngsters to the park.
It's going to be interesting to see how they cope.
The patrol team are pushed their limits by a bolshy new bird.
She is causing us lots of problems.
And Jean gets the lowdown on why these girls have been fighting it out.
Don't tell me, so the whole thing was down to boys?
Yes.
The park is home to a merry band of western lowland gorillas. In the wild, they're usually found in dense and remote African rainforest. And these primates are highly intelligent social beings.
A word of warning to you all. If Mark Ty ever asks whether you'd like a lollipop, you might want to think twice before saying yes. What? What have you been doing? What's in this thing?
All sorts.
Yeah.
It's fruit, veg, seeds,
Yeah.
all manner of goodies.
And this is a gorilla lollipop, is it?
It's a gorilla lollipop,
Do
yes.
they really like this?
Yeah, they love them. It's lovely on a hot day. It makes it last longer. They enjoy mucking about with them, dropping them, breaking them.
Who is this coming up here? Is this Alfie?
No, this is a Vindy.
Hello, Vindy. Oh, you're
So
getting
he's-
in first, are you?
So it's probably a good idea that he does get in first.
Shall I
Because once
chuck
the
it
others
out?
realise, yeah.
OK, here you are, mate. There we are.
You better grab that quick because the others are
The
coming.
others are coming racing over. So the silverback, that's Kisho?
Yes, that's Kisho.
I'm always a little bit confused with silverbacks. Is it just an age thing or a dominance thing or both?
Age and dominance.
Right.
It comes about in early teens. It's testosterone driven.
Yeah, mate.
And yeah, you know, it's something that comes about when you're head of a group. And I
Okay.
mean, he went to London Zoo from Dublin to
Yeah.
be there breeding male.
Right.
And that's when he turned into a silverback.
So the hormones kind of rushing in him and making him
Yeah.
manly and completely
Absolutely.
irresistible.
Something like that.
Oh, sorry, Alfie. Here's yours. There we go. In the wild, male gorillas, when they got to sort of maturity, that they basically left the family group and went off on their own and then tried to find their own females and set up their own troop, if you like.
Yeah.
So how does it work here with these 3?
It works reasonably well.
Yeah.
The fact they're brothers helps massively. They know each other very well. And,
Yeah.
and of course, even though Kisho left the family unit and then was brought back together with these 2 years apart, they all recognised each other. They all got on together within 24 hours.
That's extraordinary. So is there the possibility that some young studs might be coming to join these 3?
There very much is. They're both 7.
OK.
And one's from Madrid, one's from Dusseldorf. And we're hoping that they're coming very shortly.
That's incredibly exciting.
This is going to be a huge challenge for all of us.
Yeah.
And it's going to really shake up the dynamic of the group, I think. The theory says that because they're so much younger, they are going to naturally defer
Yeah.
to the older, bigger animals.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to look and go, well, OK, I'm not going to cause any trouble here.
Earlier this year, we were all devastated by the tragic death of 56-year-old legendary silverback Nico. Having been his keeper for almost 30 years, Mark was distraught. Does this feel like a new era for the gorillas?
Yeah, it does a bit, to be honest. It was a tough start to the year, as we all know. I've had the backup of these guys to help me through it a little bit, and now, obviously, with the thought of 2 new ones coming as well, it's a whole new chapter.
Yeah, new era.
Definitely.
And that new chapter is about to begin, as we'll be welcoming Mark's new gorillas later in the show. Some new residents here settle in like they're part of the furniture, while others keep the keepers on their toes.
Keep on running. Keep on hiding. One fine day I'm gonna be gone.
The patrol team on the East African Reserve are finding their job a lot more demanding than usual this summer.
Come on, take it easy. There we go.
In this enclosure, we've got 12 giraffe, 9 zebras, 2 wildebeest and 3 ostrich.
As well as making sure all the animals and the hundreds of visitors who drive through daily are safe, Joe is being given the runaround by one of the new residents.
We're here today because the animal that is most challenging at the minute is Haggis. She is an ostrich and she is causing us lots of problems.
Keep on running.
8-year-old Haggis arrived at the park just 6 months ago from another collection.
There she is, over there on the fence line.
She may be flightless, but that's not holding her back.
Most animals in the reserve are well behaved and they know their boundaries and they know how to behave with us on patrol. But Haggis, she has this tendency to go down to the bottom gate where the cars leave the reserve, which is a problem because we have to get the cars out of the bottom gate.
Team manager Ryan knows how difficult patrolling the section can be without an inquisitive newcomer investigating their surroundings.
By putting Ostrich out here, kind of turned it up a gear on those guys. So there's a lot more pressure because there's twice the species out here than they were used to, but also fairly new species for us, and insofar as they don't quite have a handle on what their behaviour is.
Haggis might be keeping the team on their toes, but Ryan's still got his sights set on increasing the flock.
Well, the intention of bringing her in really is purely for breeding. I mean, it's always nice. We have the space here, so it's nice to increase the numbers because at the moment, or before Haggis, we only had the 2, which was Smithy and Stacey. So we always felt that we had a lot more space if we wanted to build up our ostrich numbers.
And with breeding season in full swing, Ryan has a theory to explain Haggis's behaviour.
Females are very particular about where they think they're going to want to ultimately lay the eggs. So it could be that she just wanted to take the opportunity to really have a good, to scope the entire section out.
And Joe spotted more broody behaviour to back up Ryan's theory.
Sometimes when we do go down to move her, she does actually sit down and displays her feathers and clicking of her mouth, which also indicates that she wants to be mated.
We'll find out later whether all this naughty behaviour is down to a need to breed.
Over in the gorilla house, there's a whirlwind of activity. Change is coming, and head keeper Mark is leading the charge.
Well, today is finally the big day. First of the 2 new arrivals has turned up.
The gorilla colony is growing. Over the coming 2 days, 2 new males will arrive to join brothers Kisho, Alfie and Avindi. It's all hands on deck.
It's my day off today, but it's not every day you get new gorillas moving into the group, so it's definitely a must-see.
The first gorilla to arrive at Longleat is Yuber. He's a 7-year-old male who has travelled over 1,000 miles from Madrid Zoo, where Mark met him earlier in the summer. The plan is for these lads to join the park's existing Bachelor group.
Boys are a problem in breeding groups and can't stay there indefinitely, so they have to be moved out. A bachelor group is just taking all the males that can't remain within a family unit. In the wild, they would get to a certain sort of teenage age and would be unceremoniously kicked out of their family group by the dominant silverback.
But even in wild bachelor groups, new arrivals cause disruption. And these guys could be in for a shock.
We've got 3 brothers. They get on exceptionally well, and this is just going to tip it all on its head for a while. Yep.
Is that them?
Hang on, that's them. All right, Carlos. How are you?
Yuber's keeper, Carlos, is chaperoning the youngster.
So if you just pull into that bit, and then I'll go get the tractor.
Managing group dynamics in the gorilla colony is the long game for Mark. Today, the focus is on getting Yuber into his new home safely and calmly. The last 24 hours has seen the young gorilla's world rocked.
Seen him through the box. He's small. He's obviously going to be experiencing some anxiety. He's just been separated from his family unit. When you combine the transport, the losing his family, and he was sedated to be put in the box, you know, there's three things there that are pretty alien to him.
There's a nervous wait to find out how Yuber settles in and if he'll be accepted by the group.
Over at Animal Adventure, Jean's being introduced to a pair of characters who are a force to be reckoned with.
I've come to help feed one of the most dangerous animals on the park. James and Becky, what do we have in here?
So literally just behind this door, we have Lucy and Lucifer, our two Mexican beaded lizards.
Can I just pop in there with you and get started?
Probably not. We're going to get you as close as we physically can, but there's definitely some safety precautions that we have to take.
Right, talk me through them.
So, pretty simple. We have a pair of litter pickers. If we were to restrain the head at all,
Okay.
we don't want to be getting our hands in there,
Right.
just in case.
Right, just a caution, yeah.
Just in case we do need to get our hands in there, we have our venom gloves. So these are incredibly tough. And then last but not least, a big board.
Right.
So you're going to be behind it and the lizard be on the other side.
How dangerous are they?
People have died from being bitten by beaded lizards, so
Right.
that's not going to happen today.
Right, OK.
Fingers crossed.
Yes,
I'm going to
take it
trust you
seriously.
two on that one, and after you.
An attack is highly unlikely, but no risks are taken. These lizards' razor-sharp teeth slash or chew flesh before they release a deadly venom. James and Becky are highly trained.
This is quite an operation you've got going on here.
Relatively, yeah. We just got to keep an eye on them, basically.
And how often do you do this, Becky?
So they get fed twice a month, but this is something slightly different we're doing today, a little bit of enrichment as well, so hopefully make it a little bit more interesting for them.
Right, let's not keep these two waiting too long. Let's get them fed.
So if you would like to grab us our artificial nest.
This is a good idea.
In the wild, they're mostly eating bird eggs and reptile eggs. So this is just for us to try and get them climbing. They're what's described as a semi-arboreal animal. So although they don't live in trees, they are incredibly good at climbing trees. And hopefully, what we're going to do is replicate what they would be doing in the wild. So climbing up, grabbing an egg, and then eating it there and then. So hopefully, Lucy will pick up the scent of our egg.
That must be some sense of smell if she knows there's an egg up there.
They have a special organ in the roof of their mouth. It's called a Jacobson's organ. Every time they flick that tongue out, they're picking up different scents, different smells, and analysing it on that Jacobson's organ to tell them exactly what's around. It's actually why they have a forked tongue. So, for example, if a scent comes and hits the left fork, they know I need to turn left to go and find that. If it hits it on the right, they need to turn right. And if it hits it straight down the middle, they're heading right for it. So it's an ingenious method, it really is.
And look, she's thinking about climbing up that tree. Yeah, she's on her way.
Razor-sharp claws. It also gives her a chance to use those powerful front legs. So this is exactly the same behaviour that you would see in the wild.
Great to see that little tongue flicking in and out.
Yes, constantly flicking that tongue in and out, looking for that egg. I think she definitely smell it.
Go on, Lucy.
There we go.
Looks as if she's going to knock it out of the nest.
If she does, then, you know, that's enrichment again. I'm glad it's taking so long for her to investigate it rather than just going for the food and then going, yeah, I'm done.
And she's worked so hard.
I think she's done a tremendous amount of work for us.
Yeah.
Today. So I think we're just going to reward her with that egg anyway.
Oh,
She's
I
definitely burnt off those calories, and I think she definitely deserves it.
She absolutely deserves it. Well done, Lucy. What will she do? Will she crack it with her claws? Will she'll eat it in one?
She'll grab it and she'll crack it inside her mouth, so all the nutrition is in her mouth. And
her mouth's open. Her mouth's open.
There we go.
It's brilliant to see.
It's crucial to keep captive animals stimulated and active. Encouraging them to explore their surroundings is known as enrichment. In the wild, an animal's natural environment is always changing. But here in the park, it's down to the keepers to ensure their decor doesn't feel dated.
Just mind yourselves back a bit.
Earlier in the year, the carnivore team created a climbing frame to keep sisters Showery and Sundari on their paws. Gene's with Caleb to find out if it's doing the trick.
You can let the tigers go when you're ready.
Brilliant, thank you. Lock 1, lock 2, tigers on the way out.
They've come bounding out.
Oh,
Look at
wow!
That was an incredible
Oh, my
jump.
goodness, that's amazing!
Yeah,
That's a pretty awesome sight, seeing a tiger jump like
it's
that.
fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
Great at balance as well.
Yeah, a fantastic balance. And if there is a difficult situation, they'll actually grip using their paws. They'll sort of put a lot more pressure on the side and use their shoulder strength to hold on to something. It's not necessarily the claws coming out themselves, almost like we would. They're sort of hugging it.
Why do they need to jump in the wild?
So tigers need to jump to successfully catch prey. So obviously jumping's part of their hunting strategy. They jump out on prey because they're ambush predators. Also for climbing to scent mark. Generally younger tigers will scent mark in high places so that they can advertise in spaces that the older tigers can't.
So if they had to, how high do you think these tigers could jump?
To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if they could clear sort of 10, 12 foot, almost their body length. If the motivation's strong enough and they're excited or they're scared of something, they can jump an incredible distance. If they can get their paws on top of something, they could pull their own body weight up almost.
Sitting here, I can see those little white circles on the ears, which is so cute. Always reminds me of little butterflies. Is that unique to the Siberian tigers?
Yeah, that's a follow me sign. They can actually communicate with the cubs using their ears. So those white marks, if they're visible, generally everything's okay. If they're not, the cubs should lie down and be quiet.
What an amazing adaptation.
Here we go. You can see her actually thinking about the way to approach it. So she thinks the best way is to go.
Oh, look at her. Hang on.
Hang on.
Hang on tight.
Oh, it's still amazing that she managed to sort herself out. If they're struggling a bit, they can actually hold on for long enough to figure out the safest way down or the best way to land on their feet.
And it just shows you, if they're hungry, yeah, they'll do anything, won't they?
They will do anything for food.
How are the sisters getting on?
Yeah, they're getting on really well. They're just like any family, so some days they get along great, and other days they don't. But they're perfectly happy.
When they hunt in the wild, would they hunt together then?
No, tigers are generally renowned to be solitary, but they have had cases where there's been sort of multiple tigers on a kill, and if there's enough food to go around, they can share things. We've seen the girls share hides and things and sort of fight over them.
Well, there's no sharing going on today. We've got one over here, one over there. They're both lying down and really enjoying their food. I think that was a huge success, Caleb.
Yeah, it was great for the tigers. They absolutely loved it.
Well done.
And hopefully they'll go back later on as well, so perfect.
The opposite of solitary animals such as Caleb's tigers are social animals. These creatures live in a strict hierarchy, have strength in numbers, and form strong bonds, which is exactly what Mark is hoping for with his great apes.
1, 2, 3.
At the gorilla house, Mark's unloading Yuber.
He's obviously going to be experiencing some anxiety.
As Mark opens the door, Yuber's Spanish keeper, Carlos, is on hand.
Como estoy yo con él todos los días prácticamente, pues él me conoce y es transmitirle tranquilidad y que todo va bien.
Everyone ready?
Muy bien, chico.
Carlos encourages the youngster with a low grumble. A comforting greeting that gorillas use.
Muy bien, chico. Muy bien. Muy bien, chicos. Muy bien. Muy bien. Muy bien, chico.
Under Carlos's care, Yuber has spent his whole life in Madrid Zoo.
Muy bien. Muy bien, chico.
Being spoken to in Spanish.
Where am I? I'm not entirely sure whether there could be a language barrier, so it's going to be a challenge for all of us. He'll get used to it.
Life for the entire gorilla team is going to be very different from now on. Gorilla keeper George can't contain her excitement.
I'm just ecstatic. Honestly, I'm buzzing with excitement. It's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day as a 5-year-old. It's just incredible.
You know what you like. He's come and taken a few peanuts from me, so that's nice.
Carlos is happy with what he sees.
A Yuba le veo muy bien porque está muy suelto. No le veo con miedo. Y ya he visto que cualquier cosa que le ofreces se lo come.
It's a whole new world for you, isn't it? He's obviously aware there's other gorillas around here because he's been sniffing all the ropes. You can see he's obviously taken in the scent.
In the wild, males around Yuber's age can join a bachelor group led by a silverback. But as with humans, gorilla group dynamics can be complicated. In the last 6 years, Mark's got to know the 3 brothers well: 19-year-old silverback Kisho, Alfie, 15, and Avindi, 12.
So this is Avindi. This is the youngest of our 3, and he's naturally, I think, showing the most inquisitiveness towards Yuber. You know, all of a sudden he's realising he's not the baby in the house anymore. He's the sort of odd one out at the moment as it is. I think he might be the difficult one. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic, I think.
As the youngest of the 3, Avindi's most likely to feel threatened by intruders.
Yes, you're bigger than him. There's just a little bit of posturing. He's all fluffed up, making himself look bigger than normal.
Avindi is no longer the baby, but there is no question who'll remain the boss.
Oh, Kish, hello. You come in?
Silverback Kisho. Yuber's acceptance relies on his approval.
Oh, Kish. Oh, good boy. Yes. Yes. Look. Oh. Oh. What do you think of that? Kisho, although he's the dominant male of the group and he's the biggest and he's the silverback, he's also extremely childlike.
Kisho has Klinefelter's syndrome. It's caused by an additional X chromosome. He's possibly the only gorilla in the world with this condition, and it affects his behaviour.
He's very juvenile at heart. He's not a stereotypical 18-year-old silverback. He is quite childlike. What do you think?
Though playful, Kisho doesn't know his own strength. As a 180-kilo silverback, that could be dangerous for Yuber. Will he be accepted into this brotherhood?
Their 3 faces are all very similar. You know, they all follow the same DNA. They're the same family unit. And all of a sudden, we've got a different face in the house.
Mark has never introduced a young gorilla to the brothers before, and tonight they must sleep under the same roof.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they cope.
Previously, I caught up with Viscount Weymouth, who oversees the estate. And now I'm meeting the lady of the manor to see how one of the park's newest animals is doing. I'm up in the secret garden with Emma, Lady Weymouth, and Gemma, and of course, the real star, sorry, Emma,
That's all right.
Newt. Now, tell us a bit about Newt. How old is Newt now, Gemma?
So Newt is now almost 9 months old.
Yep.
And he'll still be in the pouch for up to a year, so another 3 months or so.
And Emma, you have a bit of a soft spot for Newt.
How could I not? He's so adorable. I've seen him get bigger and bigger thanks to Gemma's kind care and attention and regular feeding.
Yes, it is regular feeding, and actually, it is feed time now.
I haven't seen Newt out of the little pouch.
OK, well, we can certainly let him out to have his milk.
Oh, he's much bigger than her. Look at the size of him.
He's grown so much.
He's humongous.
He is.
Good job.
Emma, do you try to get around the park as much as possible, meeting the animals, the keepers?
Definitely, every day we're out and about looking at different things, and Gemma knows I'm always down with a bag of carrots or something for whoever's hungry.
Gemma has just spent 9 months with Newt in a little pouch. Would you be willing to do that?
Well, maybe we should test the theory.
Would you recommend it?
No, I mean, he's lovely. He's lovely, and seeing him in the pouch, obviously, is really cute, but you try having him at home all the time.
Proper dedication.
Yeah. It will only be a month or so until he's reintroduced to the wallabies at the farm. He'll spend his days down at the farm, and then he'll come home. And then, eventually, that'll be it. His first night is going to be...
I was going to say, you'll miss him.
Upsetting, yeah, but it's all for the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Emma, it must be really satisfying for you to get to know keepers like Gemma and see the heroics of the selflessness of caring 24 hours a day for lots of these animals.
Yeah, it's honestly incredible. I love the passion and dedication, and I'm really grateful to have you and the whole team here who looks after everything with so much care and so much attention, and we couldn't do it without you.
Lady Weymouth, Gemma, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Earlier in the series, a tragic change of mood amongst the meerkats left Smeagle at the bottom of the pecking order.
They're currently fighting, and we really need to do something about it. So we're going to actually split the boys and girls up.
But did separating the sexes do the trick? Jean's on her way to find out.
So Alessandra, how is she now?
She's doing amazingly.
Oh,
she's
that's
doing
great to hear.
really, really well. In fact, she's just sat up there at the moment on lookout.
Smeagle? That's her on lookout?
That is her on lookout, yeah. 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't have seen her up on lookout. She would have been hiding in a corner somewhere, but now she's got a new lease of life. She's eating with the others, she's sleeping with the others, and she's doing her job as well.
So you separated the boys and the girls, and the bullying just stopped? What's changed?
There aren't any boys to squabble over, basically.
Oh, don't tell me. So the whole thing was down to boys?
Yes,
wow.
It was. So nothing to squabble over, so we're all friends again.
So what about the relationships moving forward then? Because you're going to have all these females together and they just won't fight?
They potentially could. So it will come down to sort of the hierarchy. So when the juveniles start to come into maturity, they may try and challenge the higher ranking members, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Really, the basis of it was the hierarchy, which is so strong amongst meerkats?
Yeah, so their social structure is very strict, and it is very complicated as well, so it does cause quite a few squabbles between the group, but that's how they function in the wild. They are very small animals, and they have got a lot sort of up against them in the wild. Everything wants to eat them. There isn't much food. There's a lot of competition, so they've got to be able to stand up for themselves, and that's where those big teeth come in handy.
Yeah, they're actually pretty fearsome little things, but now that the boys are out of the picture, moving forward, will you keep it this way? Just keep the sexes separate?
As long as it carries on this way and everyone stays nice and happy and friends with each other, then we will keep it this way.
You know, I'd love to see Smeagle. Do you think we could entice her down?
We can try it. We can give it a go. Oh, there we go. That didn't take much, did it?
Come on, Smeagle. So this is Smeagle here?
Yes.
Nice to see some of her injuries have cleaned up.
Yeah. So she's got a lovely new fur coming through there. Her fur's growing back on her tail as well. She's put on weight, which is wonderful to see. And she's just a lot happier.
So you've separated the boys now, but where are they?
So we have 2 separate indoor pens. We have one for the females and one for the males. That means that they rotate outside in the walkthrough, so half of the day it will be the girls, and then for the other half it will be the boys.
Sounds perfect. Problem solved. And right now there's harmony here amongst the meerkats, and long may it continue.
Haggis the ostrich has been running her keepers ragged with her unruly behaviour.
No.
Ryan thinks this could actually be a good sign that she's getting ready to breed.
I heard a rumour that this afternoon we had an egg up in this top corner, so I just want to pop up and have a look.
It seems the girls are starting to make a nest.
I can see that Stacey's sat over in the far corner, and I think she's actually created her own scrape, which is basically where the female starts to actually get broody and think about laying a clutch together and what sort of position she would like that in. From there on in, then it becomes more of a considered approach to egg laying. She will hopefully lay them all in one spot.
Although Stacey has begun nesting, Ryan hopes that Haggis will take control. Usually the more assertive female will lay her eggs in the centre of a communal nest, pushing the other eggs to the side.
Haggis herself, she might come over to Stacey's scrape and start laying her eggs in there as well. But whoever the more dominant of the two is, it's not uncommon for the dominant female to actually roll the other female's eggs out of the scrape just to concentrate on her own.
But sadly, any eggs laid almost certainly won't hatch.
We haven't seen any actual mating behaviour as yet, and to be honest, it's not something that's easy to miss. If they do it during the day, you kind of know about it.
Although these eggs are not fertile, the signs are good, and hopefully chicks will follow in the future.
I think this is really positive, what I'm seeing here today. I was starting to think that maybe we wouldn't really see this because, yeah, she's just laid an egg.
They don't come much fresher than that. Although Stacey's laid the egg, hopefully youngster Haggis will learn a thing or two from her.
She's just manoeuvring it around there, as you can see. She almost, wraps the underside of her crop around it and then just gently uses that just to manoeuvre it around. Haggis now is going over to have a look. Well, it was interesting that Stacey moved away so quickly, because does that mean that Stacey views Haggis as the more dominant female? Which, if that is the case, is kind of what I want.
Now the girls have found a suitable nest site, hopefully Haggis will stop giving her keepers the runaround.
Ultimately, if we're lucky, the eggs give both Stacey and Haggis, if they're both laying, give those girls some focus, but also at the same time distracts them from whatever it is that's interesting them down at the bottom gate.
At the gorilla house, the three brothers are coming in for the night. But tonight, there's a fourth gorilla in residence.
I know it's his first day, but he has to get used to what they're going to be all about.
Yuber will be the first young gorilla to be introduced to the group.
We still aren't their species, and we don't know what they're giving off that we don't know yet. It's just a bit of an unknown.
Heavyweight silverback Kisho enters the enclosure directly opposite Yuber's.
Hey, Kish. Boss. Oh, Kish, good boy. Yes.
Neither Kisho nor Yuber bat an eyelid.
I mean, we're sitting here. There's a new gorilla here. He's just sitting munching, quite content, quite happy. So's he. It's lovely.
It's an encouraging start.
He's so sort of immature and unassuming. Kisho obviously sees nothing there that presents any threat to him, so he's quite happy just to sit there and watch, which is great.
One down, one to go.
Tomorrow, we do it all again.
The next day, as Yuber continues to settle in, Mark receives a message that gives him cause for concern about his second gorilla, Suvedi, en route from Germany.
I've had a text from the transport guy that say that this one's not quite as chilled as Yuber. He was obviously pretty upset when they shut the door on the box and he started banging and crashing around.
Mark went to see Suvedi in Germany a few months ago. Like Yuber, he's also 7, but much more boisterous.
He just looks full of himself.
He is very confident.
He may be a bit blippy and want to kick off a bit. He might just be cheesed off today. It might be cheesed off tomorrow. New house, new people, you know. It's all different. Right.
Calmly and confidently, Suvedi enters the house.
Hello, buddy. Hey. Hi. Hi, good boy. He came straight out and he's quieter than I was expecting him to be.
We were expecting a little firecracker to come out.
Hey. He's a bit longer, isn't he? A bit longer in the back.
New blood inevitably touches on the wounds of losing legend of the lake Nico earlier in the year.
He was such a part of my life for so many years. And now that part of my life doesn't exist anymore, and it's gone.
In just 2 days, the park's gorilla colony has been transformed.
Now finally they're here, and it's a really nice feeling. It's just going to bring a whole new dynamic to the house, keep us all on our toes. You know, we all say, like as gorilla keepers, that gorillas pick their keepers.
And with these new arrivals, the first page of a new story begins.
Over the next few days, what I'll be doing is just sitting on the floor, making myself small and calm and quiet, and hopefully I'll win my way around him, I hope.
It'll take all the keepers' experience and commitment to ensure these relationships bloom.
I think Yuber's already firmly getting in everybody's favourite good books so far, but I'm sure Suvedi can swing that round in his favour at some point. This is now just the start. This was getting them here. Now we have all the hard work involved in actually getting them together safely, and hopefully we can have a nice group of 5 out here in the enclosure.
Over the coming months, Mark and his team will settle the new boys into the Bachelor group as a new era dawns at the park.
Over in Animal Adventure, it's feeding time for the porcupines, and Jean might come in handy.
Georgia, you've got me here with a drill. What on earth are you up to?
I have, haven't I? What we're going to do today is we're actually going to drill into the root vegetables for our porcupines.
Okay, just as well for you. I'm quite good at DIY, so where do you want this hole?
So if you just pop it at the top of the vegetable.
Okay, right there.
That's perfect. So we're going to make a string kebab for them.
And we've got pears, carrots, parsnips. Are these all their favourites?
Well, parsnips definitely their favourite, so we had to include that into our kebab today.
Okay.
Lovely.
Pear, we'll get them some parsnips then.
It's really good to actually give the animals whole food. Naturally in the wild, it's going to be whole for them. It's not going to be chopped up and nice and precise sizes for them. Putting it on a kebab, they're going to have to pull it off using those teeth. Obviously, porcupines being rodents, they really have to keep those teeth nice and short. So hopefully this works really well.
And they like raw potato?
They do, yes. They're actually one of the only animals that we can provide raw potato to due to what the nutrients that are in them.
Surely the rodents can be strung along by these two, and a line of tasty snacks.
Right, kebab time.
Step on over.
So you're expecting them to run out and get involved right away, aren't you?
Yep, so first meal of the day, they're going to be very hungry.
Good.
And hopefully they'll come and find where their vegetables are. I'll just tie it on this end.
Right, let's get them out and see if they enjoy our kebab, eh?
Yep, hopefully so.
Russell!
Sprout! Come on! There we go.
Hello. Hello.
So,
just checking out our crew. Oh, look.
So she's having a smell. Hopefully Sprout will figure it out.
Straight in there, straight to the parsnip.
Yeah,
favourite.
Favourite one, gone and got that. So she's seeing a bit of struggling though already. She didn't get that first parsnip. You'll notice Brussels got the potato down already, so Sprout actually has to go and find his own food now.
How hard are the teeth?
The teeth are really powerful and you wouldn't want your fingers in their mouth, should we say that? So they're enjoying their food thoroughly, so they'll keep hold of it so they'll ensure that no other animal's going to come and take it away.
Yeah, they're very protective of it there, yeah.
And you see, they don't share, so they've got their own bit of vegetables there.
And seeing them sitting and relaxing like this gives us a good chance to look at those quails. They're just magnificent, aren't they?
They are. It's a really good defence mechanism for them. A lot of softer quills through the top of their heads, and then the sharper and the harder quills down at the bottom, which is their protection.
Well, the quills are down at the moment.
Settled at the moment.
They're
nice
enjoying
and
their
relaxed,
breakfast.
enjoying their breakfast.
Yeah, so I think kebabs at breakfast time could be the new thing.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Yeah.
We've seen a whole range of changing group dynamics today, but there's just time for one final introduction.
Now, everyone loves a mystery box, and Kate and I have come up to the Flamingo Aviary with George and Lauren, and
a mystery box.
Quite a big box.
Quite a big box. So have you got any guesses as to what might be in it?
Well, I'm rather hoping a lion, but maybe not given that we're in with the flamingos.
Yeah, no, that would be messy. Can we open it up? Can we see what's in there?
We can get them out, certainly. Yeah.
Brilliant. OK. Gosh, if it is a lion, Ben, you're standing quite close. Lauren fearlessly going in. Oh, I can hear scrabbling.
Oh, look.
Oh, look at this.
It's a female.
Beauty.
So this is a type of duck. What kind of duck?
So it's a ring teal.
Oh.
A ring teal, and that with that classic, beautiful green plumage. So tell us a little bit about these ducks. Why are they in a box? Oh, and look at the male. Oh, look how beautiful he is.
So we got them from another collection,
Yeah.
and they've been in quarantine for 30 days.
Right.
And today's the day that we can release them into the aviary.
Really?
Do you get quite excited at this moment?
Certainly, yeah. We've already got 9.
Right.
So yeah, this will take the total up to 11.
Have they got names?
So yeah, we knew you guys were coming, so we've nicknamed them Ben and Kate.
Oh, well, Ben wants to escape already. Wait for it, Ben. I know you're excited. He's very handsome.
I was going to say, I think he's rather too handsome to be named after you. So when it comes to release, I've done it with songbirds and things, where you do literally just sort of throw them. Is that what we should do?
Yeah.
Should we move? Well, let's move away from the mystery box.
Give them a nice clear line to fly.
Yeah. Should we start a little bit low?
Yeah, sure.
Ready?
Steady. 2, 3, go! Oh, look at them go!
Look at that! Oh,
Straight into the water. Oh, the satisfaction.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, welcome to a new Ben and Kate to the park. I hope he's better behaved than he is.
Oh yeah, we'll wait and see.
Sadly, that is the end of the show, but here's what's coming up on the next Animal Park.
A hot new stallion's on the reserve.
Oh, he's nice, isn't he? He's pretty handsome.
But will this pin-up capture these ladies' hearts?
There's a salty snack for Buster the sea lion.
Thanks, Buster.
And a pride of lions get a true call of the wild.
Amazing. Yeah, that was incredible.